This was my first open water triathlon. I was terrified. I'd never swum in open water before. When the race started, I panicked. The water was dark and I couldn't keep my face in. I couldn't freestyle. So, I doggy paddled. It wasn't graceful, but I finished. And looking back, I've realized life keeps asking me the same question. Who are you when things get tough? In triathlon, sometimes that means you can't see the next buoy. In engineering, it means making decisions when there isn't a perfect answer. In life, it means choosing to keep moving forward anyway. Hi, I'm Trey. I was asked 5 questions, but as I thought about them, I realized they all connect through one idea. Curiosity has shaped my entire career. I actually didn't study computer science in college. I studied journalism. People sometimes think that means I changed careers. I don't fully see it that way. Journalism taught me to ask questions, tell stories, and understand people. All tools that I use today. After college, I started working as a technical writer. I spent my days documenting software and explaining how complex systems worked. But the more I wrote about those systems, the more I wanted to understand how they actually worked. That curiosity led me to pick up programming books. Nights and weekends became time spent teaching myself software engineering. Before long, I wasn't just documenting software anymore, I was building it. 25 years later, and I'm still learning. One of the last books I read was Coding with AI for Dummies. What I found most interesting wasn't that AI could write code, it was how it could become a thought partner throughout the software development process, brainstorming ideas, exploring trade-offs, generating prototypes, and helping me learn new technologies faster. But for me, learning isn't complete until I've built something with it. So I put those ideas into practice. I built Questment, an AI-powered role-playing game where the story adapts to your decisions. And then inspired at an Ironman 70.3, I applied many of those same techniques to build PacePoint Tracker, a real-time tracking app that helps coaches, family members, and support crews follow endurance athletes during their training rides. I've always believed the best way to learn something is to build with it. The project I'm most proud of was leading the analytics platform at Pindrop. From a technical standpoint, it was incredibly rewarding. We debated architecture, eventual consistency, caching strategies, DynamoDB versus Redis or both, scalability, APIs, and how to make technical decisions we'd still be proud of years later. Those are kinds of engineering trade-offs are some of my favorite problems to solve. But that's not actually why it was completely my favorite project. It's because of what happened to the team while we were building it. Every engineer on that team grew in a different way. One engineer became more confident leading architectural discussions. Another took ownership of major features they wouldn't have tackled at the beginning of the project. Others grew through design reviews, mentoring, and learning how to think through complex technical trade-offs. My goal was never just to deliver a successful product, although we did. We kept the customer that we were going to lose. It was to build a stronger engineering team than the one we started with. By the end of the project, we had accomplished both. We had delivered an analytics platform that solved a difficult customer problem, keeping the client. But what I'm most proud of is that every engineer walked away with more capability and more confidence than when we began. To me, that's what great engineering leadership looks like. Outside of work, you'll usually find me doing one of these: smiling, running, biking, swimming, singing with the choir, and writing books. Triathlon has become a huge part of my life because it reminds me that growth happens one day at a time. When I think about my best failure, I first try to think about potentially failed projects or production bugs, maybe architectural decisions that didn't work out. But the more I thought about it, the best failure I've ever had wasn't technical at all. It was probably not becoming a journalist. I studied journalism because I loved asking questions, telling stories, and understanding people. And my dream had been to work in journalism, and that's why I moved to the Washington, D.C. area. But life had other plans. Years later, I ended up working for the very company that inspired me to move to Washington, the Washington Post, but just not as a journalist, as an engineer. Looking back, not becoming a journalist opened doors I never knew existed. It led me to software engineering, it led me to teaching, it led me to engineering leadership. It led me to building products that help people. If I'd become a journalist, I honestly don't think I'd be the engineer, teacher, or leader I am today. Sometimes your best failures become the foundation for your greatest successes. And I hope over the last few minutes you've noticed a theme. I love learning, and I love building, and I love helping other people grow. I've had the opportunity to architect distributed systems, build products from scratch, lead engineering teams, teach a software engineering bootcamp, and most recently explore how AI can make developers even more effective. But if I had to summarize what I bring to an organization, it's that I'm comfortable operating in ambiguity. I spent my career walking into situations where there wasn't a roadmap, changing careers, learning new technologies, leading architecture discussions where there wasn't a single answer, building products from a blank page. I've learned that ambiguity isn't something to eliminate, it's something to navigate. And curiosity is how I navigate it. Technology will continue to change. The problems we're solving will continue to change, but curiosity doesn't. And over the last 25 years, I've learned that the true measure of an engineering leader isn't just the software they build, it's whether the engineers around them become better engineers. And we do that by being curious about our engineers and learning what's holding them back and what they want to do and how they grow. It's what I tried to do while leading teams at Pindrop and at FanDuel. It's what I tried to do teaching a software engineering bootcamp. And it's what I strive to do every day for you. If you're looking for someone who's comfortable with ambiguity, excited about difficult technical problems, committed to developing people, and never stops learning, I'd love the opportunity to help build that future with you.